Former President George W. Bush here, inviting you to listen to Kaslon's Korner, Episode 1, Night 2. Buckle my shoe.
Welcome to Kaslon's Corner. This is DK. Thanks for downloading today's episode. Yeah, coming to you from England here. A lot of you want to know what this podcast is all about. Well, you read the description of what we're doing here, but for a lot of you, maybe if you didn't read the description, I'm an American living over here in England right now. Really, this podcast has no big format to it. It's more of me just finding a way for me to just take my life experiences and, well, pretty much it doesn't have to be that either. It could be just whatever comes into my mind. I'm going to put it into this microphone and hit the record button. Not a lot of editing is going to be going on here. It's just going to be whatever comes out of it. And, like I said, though, it's going to be about some life experiences and stuff that I've done, stuff that I've learned because of my experiences, some tough ones, maybe some ones that you guys can relate to. Maybe it can help some of you guys out there. That's the ultimate thing of this, is to just entertain. It's supposed to be an entertaining podcast. We're going to have some silly topics some days. Sometimes we might have some more extreme topics, but I'm not going to sit here and tell you that, we're going to have a set format where we're going to, cover news every day. We're going to cover politics. Or we're going to talk about working out, any of that kind of stuff. It's just going to be a big old cluster of stuff we're going to throw at you, but hopefully it entertains, and we'll get some good listeners out there, and you guys are going to come back and, send us your feedback with some questions. Maybe you guys got some stories we can share. We have some special guests and stuff like that on here. It's going to be a really good outlet for me to just, like I said, take the stuff that's been going on in my life and stick it on this microphone and share it with the masses. So yeah, we'll get into our first topic here. Any of you out there had an endoscopy done before? Man, let me tell you about that. That is definitely something I never want to have to go through again. Give you a quick background of why I had to have it done, and then we'll get into the whole experience and whatnot. And so if any of you out there are about to have one done, I'd like to share and tell you what it was like for me. But about 5 years ago, was eating a lot of hot peppers and stuff like that. Some of my friends and I, we used to eat those, and a lot of it at first was just to see how much heat we could take from it. Because if you don't know, a boot jolokia pepper is also known as the ghost pepper. I think it was in 2007. It reached. It was labeled the hottest pepper in the world by Guinness Records. And it has over 1 million Scoville units, or whatever they use to measure that. If you guys know what I'm trying to say out there, go ahead and send me that response. But let me get into what happened. So I'm at this party, right? And we were all eating these hot peppers because when you mix alcohol and a bunch of precocious young 24-year-olds, some stupid stuff's gonna happen. Basically, I ate one of these peppers, chewed it up, swallowed it, but then another one I kind of just swallowed the pepper, thinking it wasn't gonna get as much heat from it, and I don't remember if there was a contest or anything like that. I actually have no idea what we were doing at that point, but the point is that these hot peppers started destroying to my stomach. I ended up, having stomach problems for a good 2 weeks. Just a lot of pain down there, and I think it was, the stomach acid trying to get over that rubbery texture of that pepper that I didn't chew up. I don't know how long it was before it passed out, but I know that I've had some bathroom problems for about a good 2 weeks when I took that. So anyway, since then, I've had to take Prilosec or Nexium or any of those, what they call proton pump inhibitors. They're called PPIs for short. And those are those, pills you see on TV or whatever, that, they talk about how it helps with acid reflux and stuff like that. So I was on those now for about the last, 5-6 years, taking them to kind of keep the acid reflux at bay, because it was really, destroying my way of life for a while because, no matter what I would do, I'd wake up, I'd have heartburn. I'd go to bed, I'd have heartburn. No matter what I ate, it was just really rough. And until I found out later, I drink a lot of milk, but I guess that it only it soothes you momentarily when you drink milk after eating spicy foods and stuff like that. But it makes your stomach then I guess overproduce stomach acid. If anybody out there knows this, and if I'm just BSing along here, let me know. But that's what I was told, that it would make more stomach acid. So I was probably overproducing stomach acid for a long time now because I drink a lot of milk to kind of keep the symptoms down. But anyway, so now you know how I ended up getting like these issues was basically from eating like the hottest pepper at the time. Numerous on numerous occasions for oh man, I'd say for a good 2 years straight. Just eating those things, and they're good. Don't get me wrong, they're really good tasting peppers. We would like them, if you like a great sting. But it's got a nice fruity flavor at the beginning of these peppers. But we're not here to talk about these peppers. We're here to talk about the endoscopy. So basically, I go to the hospital, and the nurse brings me into a room, and they start telling me what goes on in the procedure. And I don't know how they do it everywhere, but this is how it worked for me. They told me that they would give me a little simple structure that goes inside my mouth that I would bite down on, that allows me from not biting down on the long tube that goes down your throat. And the tube is honestly it's almost like a garden hose, in diameter, and it's not the most comfortable experience. I mean, I'll give you that, but it only lasted about 3 to 4 minutes for me. So, I mean, I know that all you out there that are about to get one done can definitely pull through on it. But anyways, they gave me two options. They said that I could either be sedated, through the whole procedure, or they just give me a numbing throat spray. I opt for the throat spray because I wanted to get back to work that day. I like hanging around people and stuff like that, and my job allows me to see a lot of people throughout the day, and if you can put a smile on somebody's face, then I think that that's a really big thing in life, is entertaining, making people smile and whatnot. And if I'm sitting by myself, it's definitely more of an extrovert, because even just talking right now on this microphone, it's a good outlet for me to share what I feel about topics and whatnot. And if nobody's around, at least I know that there's some people out there that have hit the download button, in which I thank you very much for doing. But the endoscopy part, see, like I said, there's no such format on this thing. I'm going to just start talking and whatnot. Try to stay with me at least for the first few episodes here, because we're going to get into a groove and everything like that. This initial podcast here, we might skip around a little bit. Bear with us. The show will get better. So, anyways, so I was talking about how you have this little structural device thing that you put in your mouth, and they slip the garden hose down your throat. And, they gave me that throat numbing spray so I could tolerate it. Well, they said that this throat spray was going to taste like gone off bananas, right? So it's like like spoiled bananas that they shoot in liquid form into the back of your throat. And you're supposed to swish it around a little bit and then swallow. And once you do that, they have you do it again to ensure that you can't really feel how to swallow and whatnot. So I did it the second time, and I'll tell you what, it was hard. It was difficult to try to swallow, because you got to think that it's like swallowing is pretty much second nature to all of us now. We're not children learning how to do anything like eating solid foods. We've been doing it now, hopefully, for a while. If you don't know how to swallow yet, and you're listening to this podcast and found it on your own, then you're a genius. But I digress. The throat spray, like you said, it's like spoiled bananas. It's not horrible tasting. I mean, it's definitely tolerable, but it's definitely not something that you would go to a store and try to eat. So they had you lay on your side after you get your throat numbed on the operating table, and that, like I said, that structure's in your mouth, and they're like, just take a couple of deep breaths and try to like, almost like try to swallow the tube as they try to feed it down your throat. Now, it is uncomfortable. Um, I mean, men usually, I mean, and if you do, I'm not gonna ridicule you or whatever, but most men don't like things going down their throat, uh, and I'm definitely one of those that don't like it. Uh, there was a lot of gagging involved. I felt like I was gonna throw up, the whole time, but they tell you just to breathe and try to stay as calm as possible. And it's a little uncomfortable, like with the once it finally gets all the way down into your stomach, because they start pushing air inside you, and I guess that's how they expand your stomach. I'm not positive, but I think that's what they were saying. They expand your stomach. They got a little lens down there, and they're snooping around trying to find out what's going on. And like I said, it only took about 3 to 4 minutes once the tube was in there, and then it was all over within about 15 minutes. I felt like I could swallow just fine again after the tube came out. And the most painful thing is just probably that initial part where they feed the tube down. It's not. I guess it's not really painful. It's just very uncomfortable. And I'll tell you what. After having a garden hose down my throat, I will definitely say that my hat is off to all you ladies out there, because you definitely do some things for us men that that we would never want to do ourselves. So again, hats off to you ladies. Thank you. But back to the endoscopy. I had to wait about a good hour after the procedure before I could have anything to drink, because they wanted to see if there was any reactions to what they did, and to make sure that I knew how to swallow again properly. And so they gave me some water, and then they made me a sandwich. But I'll tell you what, man. Let's delve off that topic for a second. When I'm talking about a sandwich, I am not talking about what I got served. What they served me was 2 pieces of white bread with a little bit of butter on each side and a piece of ham. That is not a sandwich to me. Okay, when I'm talking about a good sandwich, man, I'm talking about, man, let's talk about club sandwiches. You got those nice thin deli slices on there. You got your bacon on there, the lettuce, the tomato, that fresh mayonnaise, and a fresh mayonnaise. And I'm talking about like one that you make yourself is the best mayonnaise you're ever gonna have. Men, we don't want just a little piece of ham on a sandwich. We want meat, man. We're men. We like to eat, and when we want to eat a big ass sandwich. I mean, we're talking the lettuce, the tomato, maybe you get a little adventurous out there. You put some jalapenos on there and a little bit of onion. The jalapenos are not for me at the moment, only because of the stomach issues that I had. And I know you listeners out there right now, if you got acid reflux, you're probably sitting there thinking like, what are you talking about jalapenos for? When you just got done talking about what, a hot pepper destroyed your stomach. Well, jalapenos and, boot jolokia, naga jolokias, naga peppers, whatever you want to call them, ghost peppers, are completely different. And that is a whole different realm of hotness. But yeah, the endoscopies though, guys, just hang in there. They're not that difficult, and like I said, it's only like a 3 to 4 minute job. And don't get sedated. Like, you can pull through with a throat spray. Don't ruin the rest of your day by being groggy and laying around and feeling miserable because you had some kind of medicine pumped inside you to make you essentially fall asleep. It's just not worth it. So I would opt for the throat spray if it's offered, and just tough it out. I mean, you've been toughing out through the the heartburn and the acid reflux, whatever you want to call it, for however long you've been going through that. You can definitely handle 3 to 4 minutes of them, like I said, snooping around in your stomach. Now to go back to what happened to me real quick, just to tie that all up. Yeah, they said that I had gastritis, which is a little bit of inflammation in my stomach. They switched me from Prilosec and Nexium because those two, I guess, have some of the rare side effects on those. And with the the stomach issues. When I say stomach issues, I mean like after I would take it about 30 minutes, I would have some of the most painful, you know, in the bathroom. It was painful, for a little while, and when I'd have to relieve, some gas pressure, it was rough. I mean, we're talking like almost like razor blades like type farts, man. They're not comfortable. So if any of you out there are struggling with the same problems like that, feel free to write into the show there. On our site we have it posted at kaslonscorner.com, but also you can just simple as just questions at kaslonscorner.com, or if you have stories and stuff, you can also send them to Let Us Rap, and that's lettuce like LETTUCE, and rap spelled as in WRAP, like the food, lettuce wrap, at kaslonscorner.com. And I'd love to hear your guys' feedback and your stories and whatnot about what's going through. And if you guys are just about to go into it and you need some help, send in your questions. Maybe we can talk about it on another show. It doesn't have to be just about endoscopies. I've had other stuff done too. I've had ankle surgery from when I sprained my ankle. I mean, that's a story we can tell sometime on a different show. But like I said, this show here is for you guys out there to hear my life experiences. And if you guys are going through anything similar, if you guys are going through any kind of topics, you want to talk about relationships, I've had a million of them, it seems. I'm happily married now and everything. But if you guys got marital questions, I'll tell you how we do it and how we get through our issues. If you guys want to talk about how to cope with a newborn child. We've had our first child about over a month ago now, and I'll tell you what, man, having a baby just brings so much joy into your life. Such good times now. Your life really feels a lot more fulfilled, once you have your first child. And if you're going through some jitters, man, let's say you'll say you're just boyfriend and girlfriend, and you guys, you feel like it's an accident or something like that, you're not sure if you really want it, send in your comments, your questions. We can talk about that, because it was, that's a scary thing too. Let's say you guys just met and, you guys were just having fun, having your moments, and next thing you know, this girl that you've known for, let's say, 2-3 weeks, she's pregnant now, and now you got to think of you got a life-changing decision right there. Let's talk about that. But yeah, let's make this, for all of us. Maybe you guys can help me out. Your guys' life experiences and stuff like that. It's gonna be a little lighthearted here at times too. So don't think that just because we're sitting here, I'm talking about an endoscopy and whatnot, it's not gonna be boring like that. But let me take a moment here. Let's switch gears. And let's bring on my wife here in a minute, and let's talk about some spiders here. A lot of people have there's like arachnophobia and stuff like that. So I'm gonna go ahead here. I'm doing all this editing myself right now at the moment, trying to learn more about it, and we'll see how this goes, and we'll just start getting a little more professional with it. But yeah, I'm gonna take a quick pause here, and we'll switch gears and bring the wife out, and let's talk about her fear of spiders and whatnot, and her story. So bear with us here, and come right back here on the corner. Welcome back to the show. All right, so I have my lovely wife with me today, and we're going to talk about her little spider incident that she had in the bathroom the other day. My wife is terrified of spiders, and let me tell you, there's people that have arachnophobia and whatnot, and I believe it's real, because I've never seen people get so crazy over a little insect. But that's neither here nor there, so I'd like to bring my wife Georgina on there. Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing okay.
That's great. So, yeah, you had a little encounter with a spider the other day, huh?
Yeah.
How'd that go?
Well, I was just brushing my teeth, and out the corner of my eye, I spot this huge thing on the floor.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was really big.
What kind of spider was it, do you know?
I don't know, it had really long legs.
Yeah?
A big black body.
Oh, wow. Yeah, so you were home alone then because I was at work, right? And where was our little infant at?
And she was asleep.
She was still asleep.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, were you taking a shower or just you said you were brushing your teeth? You
I'd
said.
just taken a shower and I was brushing my teeth. Yeah.
Okay, so you're all clean and now you saw the spider. And now if I remember correctly, every time you see a spider, don't you you feel dirty or something right after?
It makes me itch.
It makes you itch.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what was going through your mind when you jumped and saw the spider?
Well, I screamed a little bit.
You screamed a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was trying not to panic. I was looking for something to hit it with, but I couldn't get to anything without going near the spider.
Oh.
So I kind of skirted round it and exited the bathroom and went and grabbed one of your shoes.
You grabbed one of my shoes.
One of
so
your
what were
shoes.
you didn't have any shoes in the bathroom then?
No, why would I have shoes in the bathroom?
Well, I know personally when I get out of the shower, fellas, like I hate having dirty feet. When my feet are wet and I'm walking, even if we just got done mopping the floor, you got that little residue that you feel on your feet, and I just can't stand it. So I always have a pair of slippers with me at all times, if I'm not wearing socks at least. So, yeah. So you said you smashed it, and then
Well, obviously I grabbed your shoe. I went back to the bathroom, walked in there, and it wasn't there anymore. I couldn't see it.
oh no.
So when I turned around, it was then in the doorway. So I'm thinking I must have walked right past it to get back into the bathroom. So I kind of just launched your shoe at it, and it scuttled away. And I followed it and hit it about 3 times with your shoe until I was sure that it was dead.
Is it still on the bottom of my shoe?
No. I was good. I picked it up with kitchen roll and put it in the bin.
So you can pick up a dead spider when I'm not home, but when I am home, it's like I have to go take care of the spider.
Well, yeah. Why should I feel uncomfortable when you can do it?
And listeners, if you're out there, and I'd like to hear your feedback, but I've always been on the assumption if you want to like conquer an obstacle or a fear in your life, you just have to tackle it head on multiple times until you feel comfortable. So look for that self reassurance. But I mean, and the thing is though, like I don't have any phobias like that, so I honestly. That's one heck of a feat then for you arachnophobists out there, like killing spiders. So anyways, thanks for being on the show today, and I'm sure I'll see you here shortly.
Thanks for having me.
All right, we're going to take a short break, and we'll be back on the corner.
You're in the corner for the working man punching his time card. The show's for you.
All right, guys, thanks for staying with us. We're going to go ahead and wrap things up today with one last story here. I'm going to talk to you about barbecuing here in England. And, man, let me tell you what, something that really ticks me off, man, about living in this country sometimes is, at least in America, when I want to go out and I want to get some charcoal to go barbecue, I can go find it anywhere I want. I'm sitting here. One morning, I'm looking outside. It's like I got up super early. And right before the sun started and everything like that, I was thinking, you know what would be good today? I say we throw on a nice brisket and have some good brisket for dinner to watch some football, right? Man. So I was going to have some people over. I'm going to do that. So I get up, get in my little car, go over there to Sainsbury's, right? And I used to go to Sainsbury's over there to get some charcoal, and they usually had charcoal for me, and it was fairly priced. It had some nice big briquettes, and I enjoyed going there to get it because, like I said, they were nice big briquettes, and it burned long, and it didn't produce too much flavor that like a sooty flavor. It didn't have anything like that. It wasn't as good as like Kingsford back in the States, but it would do the job with little fuss. So I go over there, and mind you, it's late September now, and they told me that they didn't have any in stock. So I was like, okay, I'll go to the next store. So I go to Morrison's, right? Morrison's, I would get charcoal there when I couldn't get it at Sainsbury's. Go over there, and they didn't have any barbecue supplies at all. And so I was thinking, like, wow, man, 2 places. They're, pretty much sold out right now. So I go to a hardware store. And hardware stores, guys, is a barbecue guy's spot. I should have went there first, to be honest with you, considering, I'm telling you right now that if you're a barbecue fan, your hardware store is where you usually go to get your stuff. So I go to Home Base, right, which is more of a do-it-yourself type place. Consider it to be like your Lowe's or Home Depot over here in the UK. Well, looking around for a while, and one of the shopping assistants, I don't know what they're called, store clerks, comes by and he's like, "Can I help you with something?" So I said, "Yeah, I want to throw some food on the old barbecue and smoke some meat today. I had plenty of wood chunks, but I just need some charcoal." And they're like, "Well, it's not really in season right now." And I'm thinking to myself, what do you mean in season? It's not barbecue season anymore. And I'm thinking to myself, all right, so background again. I'm from Nebraska, right? And we get all 4 seasons extremes, man. You can talk about negative 40, negative 60 wind chill or something like that in the winter. And in the summer, we can have it up there dang near 120 degrees. We get both extremes. But I'll tell you what, not one of those extremes holds you back from having some barbecue. And when I say barbecue, I'm not talking about grilling, okay? I'm not talking about throwing burgers on the grill. When I say barbecue, barbecue is a low and slow process of cooking, okay? That's what we're talking. We're talking about the pork. We're talking about doing, briskets, throwing a chuck roast on there, smoking meat, stuff like that. That's barbecue to me. Not here in England. All right, in England, if you want to barbecue stuff, they're talking about burgers and dogs, man. And if you're just doing burgers and dogs, I still don't see why you have to be in a season for that, because it doesn't matter what the weather's out like that. You're not going to put a burger on there, and unless you're doing a low and slow burger, you're talking 8 to 12 minutes, depending on the thickness of the burger, for that being, cooked. And with hot dogs, we're talking 2 minutes on a hot flame. So I don't understand that, but apparently you have to be in season for barbecue over here, and that just really, really kind of pissed me off. So anyways, let's wrap up today's show. We're going to have a lot better show next week or whatnot, because we've got the first show jitters out of here, and, let's see what we can accomplish next week. I think we'll have a special guest on next week's show, and anyways, you guys out there, you guys stay safe. If you're driving around, let's say you're the American trucker out there, or if you're over here in a different country and you're trucking around in your lorries or whatever you want to call them out there, I'll tell you what, this show's for you. This show's out here to entertain and for me to get some crap off my mind. I got some topics already written down that we want to do next week. Next week's going to be a lot more lighthearted. It's not going to be about me getting a garden hose rammed down my throat. So, yeah, we'll talk about it. It'll be a lot lighthearted. I'll share some life experiences and stuff like that. Hopefully have some funny stories and, a special guest on there. So until next time, keep your nose out of the corner. If you'd like to send your comments and questions into Kaslon's Korner so you can be a part of the podcast, do so at kaslonskorner.com. That's KASLONSKORNER.com. That's KASLONSKORNER.com.